Thank you, Speaker, sir, for giving me an opportunity to speak on this very important bill concerning the representation of the tribal community in Goa. Madam Speaker, when we make a mere mention of Goa, it invokes a picture of natural beauty, clean environment, the beautiful rivers, the lush green fields, the rich forests, the tall mountains, and the ever beautiful beaches where the world descends to play with the subtle ripples of the waves. But when did this beautiful land come into existence? 500 years? 1,000 years back? Tradition, folklore, and the word of mouth traces the origin to over 6,000 years. And that is where the first footprint of a tribal community was found. Madam, today the tribal community in Goa awaits with great anxiety as we, the elected representatives, have gathered to decide the future of a tribal community in Goa. Who are the tribal communities of Goa? आमच्या मान्य मंत्रीन सांगला की 2001 3 कम्युनिटी ऍड केले म्हूण तशें ना ते ह्यो कम्युनिटी 1000 साल पयलींच्यान आसा. Many of our honorable MPs have asked me with surprise about the existence of tribal communities in Goa. Well, as per a research paper submitted to the Goa University in July 2015, the Goan tribes consisting of the Gauda, Kundmi and Velip community were the first settlers in Goa, belonging to the Proto-Australoid group, popularly known in Goa as Mool Goenkar, which means indigenous people. It is pertinent to note that the tribal ministerial portfolio in Goa was first declared in 2010 under the Congress government, and a separate budget was approved for tribal welfare and development. Madam Speaker, I want to make it also clear that the Congress party has been trying to give justice to the tribal community for many years. In 2013, based on the promise of the then chairperson of UPA, Srimati Sonia Gandhi, the then UPA government under Dr. Manmohan Singh introduced a bill in Rajya Sabha on 26 Feb 2013. या 3 फावट आडून कशेय करून आमच्या कम्युनिटीक जस्टिस मेळोंक ना. I would fail in my duties if I do not take the name of late parliamentarian Shri Shantaram Naik, who on 4th August 2016 raised a demand in the Rajya Sabha for reservation of seats in the Assembly for tribal community of Goa. On 10 December 2021, our leader Srimati Priyanka Gandhiji came to Goa, went to Kape, spent an evening with the tribal community and promised them that the Congress party will fight the battle for reservation. It's a great historical moment for me personally to be a member of the 18th Lok Sabha to push for the rights of a tribal community in Goa. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the tribal community of Goa, I extend an invitation to all my seniors and my colleagues in this great temple of democracy to visit my state, meet our tribal community and have a meal cooked by them. Their cuisine is unmatchable, blended in flavors of the forest produce, the real organic vegetables, fruits plucked from the forest trees, the natural nuts and berries. If one participates or even visits the home of our Hindu brethren in Goa during the Ganesh Chaturthi festival, one can witness the rare edible fruits, herbs, creepers, root leaves from a rich forest as part of the traditional matoli. These are the produce of the forest that have been preserved by a tribal community. Today, as we sit in this temple of democracy and debate on deciding on the bill that will benefit the tribal community in Goa, I would like to bring to the notice of honorable members of parliament that a tribal community had their own decision-making system. Going back to thousands of years, wherein the village elder or the village headman, known as the Budwant or Gaonkar, would sit and take collective decision only after listening to the views of the entire tribal community. Similarly, there was a system called as Barazan, meaning 12 wise men who would assemble together and discuss and finalize various critical issues affecting the respective villages and areas. If we superimpose that system, madam, we too are following a similar system wherein all representing particular states or areas, we take decision by debating and discussing before arriving at a suitable decision. Madam Speaker, they did it thousands of years before us, and sadly, we are today discussing to give rights to our tribal community in Goa. Madam Speaker, today what we see in Goa, be it the roads, the bunds along the backwaters, the planting of mangroves along the coast, the terrace farming, the cashew plantation, the wells, the houses, the compound walls, etc. are the work of the highly skilled members of the tribal community in Goa. Shifting cultivation in the forest is a skill practiced by the tribal community. I also want to bring to the notice of the honorable members of parliament from Jharkhand and also from Bihar, prior creation of Jharkhand, that members of the tribal community of Goa who were famed for their skills in building of roads and in construction of compound walls and buildings were specifically taken to Jamshedpur, where they played a critical role in the construction of roads and other infrastructure in Jamshedpur. Madam Speaker, the bill that has been introduced proposes a readjustment in the representation of scheduled tribes in assembly constituencies of the state of Goa. The Goa State Assembly presently does not have any reserved seat for our scheduled tribes and has one reserved seat for the scheduled caste. The proposed amendments are aimed to address the disparity in the representation of scheduled tribes in the State Assembly, as it is currently disproportionate to the scheduled tribe population in the state. Since the delimitation exercise in 2002, the population of scheduled tribes has increased with the recognition of 3 more tribes. In Goa, the delimitation was conducted in 2002 based on data gathered through the 2001 census, as per which, as the minister rightfully mentioned, only 566 individuals belong to scheduled tribes. As a result, the scheduled tribes in Goa were not given a constitutional mandated reservation in the legislature. The proposed bill empowers the Census Commissioner to notify the population of STs in Goa, based on which the Election Commission will amend the delimitation of Parliamentary and Assembly Constituencies Order 2008 to make way for ST reservation in the 40-member Assembly by taking into consideration revised population. This is where the doubts arise about the real intention of bringing the bill. Will our community in Goa get representation as soon as possible, or there will be endless delay? Madam Speaker, we have delayed giving the legitimate rights to our tribal community in Goa for decades. Let us not waste any more time in deciding on this very important matter. I hope that the government does not play with words, jargons and legal terms to delay passing of the bill. Thank you. Jai Hind, Dev Bare Karo, Jai Goa.